Isn't it
Dying Sun?
Sun?
Dying
Yeah.
Sun. That's a real melodic one. But
Yeah,
then
so that was the one where we were talking about earlier how we did a demo for it, maybe like a couple months before we actually.
yeah, with our boy Robbie Edwards and Aaron Edwards, his brother, right? Yes,
Mhm.
friends
Yeah.
of ours from
And
back.
that was something we posted on MySpace back in the days.
MySpace, man. You know what? Till this day, there's no better social media for bands and musicians than
bands.
MySpace.
Yeah.
Nothing. Facebook is awful. Instagram is not made for bands.
No.
Dude, MySpace was it, man. It was.
Yeah, it was.
And I mean that was the time when like people really got into us and were like, we were able to book tours through MySpace.
Oh,
just
dude.
just connecting with bands and booking agents and like independent booking agents and dudes just trying to. What's that?
Can you see it?
Is
No,
it our
it's
MySpace?
Oh, does that have our MySpace URL? What is it? /Antagonist metal?
Yeah. It also has our hxcmp3.com.
Hardcoremp3.com.
Oh my God.
/Antagonist.
Thing.
Yep. That was real.
Man,
Dying Sun. So yeah, remember we recorded the demo of it? We did it all in one day. Like,
Oh yeah. It was fun.
that was fun. And then yeah, that song's really cool because it's got that like that melody
So
to
that
it.
one's so
Has a great solo section.
That one's so kill switch engaged though, dude. That intro
Oh
is
yeah.
plus, but then afterwards is like that kind of Euro Swedish kind of like
Right.
Darkest Hour. Well, they're not Swedish, but like At the Gates ish, you know, like it's like such a like Swedish riff or whatever. So there it is. There's like the metalcore, right? That's totally it. And then
exactly.
and then the breakdown at the end, and you know the singing, the whole thing. So that one was
To me, I remember when we were coming up with that breakdown and how we do the little octave. To me, I was, oh, that sounds like God Forbid. That's so sick.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites, dude. Out of all those bands, I feel like God Forbid didn't get the love that they deserved. They were up song wise.
They were amazing. Like nothing sounded like Determination. It's
Determination is so good.
It's
because they even a lot of like techie kind of stuff in there too, like weird time
right.
The other bands were pretty straightforward, except Lamb of God. But Lamb of God was its own like thing. They were their own thing. They didn't sound like any of those bands either. They just kind of got lumped in with them because they came out at the same time ish.
Yeah, they were grittier.
Yeah, they were a lot more just straight metal, thrash metal band. But
well, see, God Forbid was a gig that we played maybe like that was probably like 5 gigs after we released this album.
So yeah, we played God Forbid.
We were really stoked on God Forbid at the time.
Yeah, and it was God Forbid. Who else played? Full Blown Chaos, I think. I don't remember who else, but God Forbid.
Diecast.
Oh my God!
And I thought that was way later because I remember we played like Valor and.
Did we?
Yeah,
we were working on that stuff like around
maybe
that time.
We were just working on it.
Maybe
we were like working on a lot of music at that time.
Right.
There was a lot of songs going on.
Yeah, because we put out Architecture, and in the same year we also came out with a Samsara EP, didn't we?
Yeah, that came out
right.
Same year.
Yeah.
So there you go. So those are those songs. But I just remember, after the show, Dallas from God Forbid like took us in his van to play us the new God Forbid demos, and it was for
it's for Constitution of Treason.
Constitution of Treason. That's what it was for those. So we're just like, this is so cool. And I just remember Dallas saying like he was just saying all these really nice things about us, how he really dug us, and then he was like, but the singing though, it's like it's too OC. It's too Orange County, like, and I think he made like an Avenged Sevenfold reference, like, don't make it so OC. And that was very offensive, only because we talk so much shit about Orange County. but I knew what he meant. I mean, he's not from over here, so they're from Jersey. So to them,
I remember.
I get. Oh, look at that!
Hey, we get unlimited time.
Nice,
cool.
I remember Doc was talking to you, or I can't remember if I witnessed it or if you told me, but I remember the story of he came up to he was just like, were just like, he was like, wow, like you're so good. Like, I can't believe how good you are and how young you are. Like, he's like, I really need to practice. Like, and I was just like,
That's so
dang, I
funny.
can't believe he told you that, because he was like, God forbid.
Years later, and I don't think he remembers. Years later, we played for his like birthday show in Hollywood, with his cover band, and he asked us to, and it was really nice and it was really cool of him. I don't know if he remembered us from then, but
Oh,
I
really?
don't know.
he seemed to
Probably
like
not.
us as people, I guess. So he's like, "Hey, you want to play from the area?" Like, cool. But
Yeah.
to us, that was a huge deal because that was one of the bands that we look up to and like we
Oh,
love.
that was
Totally.
huge for
And
us.
we had to sell a bunch of tickets for that show
I
because
know, dude. I
we
can't
got
sold
believe
all
added
of
on
them.
the show like two. I think Paul Salem, because he was the guy who talked. He was the guy that tried to make deals, and I think he told Joe Case, Joe Case. We missed the Showcase Theater, by the way.
I missed
Have
that
to mention the
spot. A
Showcase
lot.
Theater in Corona because I think our first show at an actual venue was at the Showcase for the Showcase Showdown Battle of the
Yep.
Bands.
God, the
Bands,
Showcase
baby.
Showdown.
Yeah, man. And that
The
was
good old
honestly,
days.
if you never went to the Showcase, like you missed out. Probably
Yeah.
the best venue ever. Like so many
Yeah.
good shows went through there. It was such a terrible drive from here, but it was
It was like the worst drive, but then when you got there, like everyone was there.
it
and
was the
everyone
best.
had
It was the
fun.
It was
best
so fun.
place to see a show. It was small. It was intimate. Every band went through there. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
people say Chain Reaction, and yeah, Chain Reaction definitely legendary up there and for sure. But like something about the Showcase, man, it was just great place. I think
Legendary.
the people that worked there too were just so great too.
Oh, hell
but
yeah.
Yeah.
we played there with God Forbid that show, and we sold. We got added to the show 2 weeks in advance because Paul made some moves and got Joe to agree. But he's like, "All right, but you guys have to sell like how many tickets did you make?" They made us sell tickets. It was one of those things. Like
It's
Mhm.
probably
100
like 30
tickets or
or 50 tickets.
no,
like
no,
that.
no. It was a lot. It was like 80 tickets. It was a lot because he was,
Was
like,
it?
because I remember he's like, "You're not gonna be able to do this in 2 weeks. Good luck." And they were like $20 tickets, and we sold all of them in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we're like, "See, we told you." And we thought
It
that
was
was like
sold
going to
out,
get us
you
on a
know?
bunch of shows and stuff. And I mean, we did play there a lot. So, but I think we played there mostly because friends bands would like invite us to play there. So it would be like, "Oh, let's
Right.
play," We never
Yeah,
really. I don't know
always.
if we really ever headlined the Showcase, right? We'd always play with friends bands or whatever.
Nah.
Yeah.
But anyway, fun times. All right, how about what's next? Son, and then track 4. Are we on track 4?
The seventh vial.
Seventh vial.
Woo! So that one was originally on Eschatology, and originally had that Terminator T2 sample at the beginning.
The sample
That was
at
your
the
idea,
beginning.
right, Matt?
Yeah, that
you.
was my idea.
Of course, that was your idea.
We're not gonna make it, are we? People, I mean.
It's in your nature to destroy yourselves.
As a Terminator.
I remember that when we recorded it on Eschatology. Remember, I had brought in, I think, the DVD, and then he hooked it up to like the soundboard, but we didn't have a TV, so we had to find it. We had to listen to the movie and find it, and then we finally got to it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is what it
Can
is.
you believe that? Like, that sounds so primitive, but it's like,
Yeah, it
That's
was
how you did it.
that's how you
Yeah,
did it.
Yeah.
I
that
mean,
was-
now you just go on YouTube or whatever, and just there it is.
That song
Yeah,
kind
exactly.
of evolved out of you had that riff from a while back, and I remember you showed it to me, and I always thought it was really cool. It kind of sounded like Cannibal Corpse-y to me, and I was like, "Oh, that's really like creative." And then when we were just writing stuff, I kind of said, "Why don't we do something with that thing you had?" And then it just evolved from that.
Evolved from there. Yeah,
That is one of my favorite riffs. That one. Like, that's so good. That's like old kill switchy, like just like
there it is again, right?
yeah.
Started with that like death metal-y kind of like the tapping and the pull-offs, right? Very Cannibal Corpse-y, and then went into the breakdown, and then I went into like that Swedish riff. So I mean, that's how we did it. Good song, fun song, heavy song.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
trying to
yeah, I
think. Oh
remember-
yeah, and then I had that part at the end that always reminded me of just like a Lamb of God, God forbid, kind of weird, dissonant, like harmonic thing going on. Yeah. See
There's
again
a riff in there, and I ripped off Slayer. I remember
on a riff in that one.
everything I do is ripped off. The part with the dun, 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 that's
Here we go. Let's just put it out there because this is a fact of everything. Every band rips off every band. All the
everything.
time.
Yeah,
They just don't admit it.
yeah.
Just
I'll
finding
admit
riffs.
it. I'll totally tell you.
Oh, dude, totally. You know, was one guy that I always is so funny. I remember growing up because I love Pearl Jam, and I always remember like anytime they would ask Mike McCready about a lead that he did or like a part, it was never like, yeah, well, it was always like, oh yeah, I totally pulled that from like.
I remember you telling me a quote of his.
That's
about,
Kiss. That's Kiss. Whatever, which is basically a rip off of the Doors 5-1 solo. So that's basically where I got it, or whatever. It's just like he totally just like it's like, oh yeah, he would never hide the fact that Mike McCready would never hide the fact that he was just lifting solos from people. I was like, that's great.
Yeah.
I love
I
it.
remember you told me that quote of his where it was like everyone was like, "Oh yeah, that sounds exactly like going to California," and he's like, "Yeah, because I love Led Zeppelin." And yeah.
So duh.
Yeah.
So that's why. But I mean, a lot of the times, I think most of the time it's subconscious ripping off, right? It's just
Usually,
you
yeah.
have all this music in your head that you love, and then you write a riff, and it's like that's dope. And then later on, you're like, oh well, no wonder it's dope because it's from a song that I love, right?
Yeah.
So
course.
and then you try to change it to make it your own, and it happens. It always happens. Like I could tell you what bands I was listening to when I wrote certain songs. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, that's totally my whatever riff. Like you can hear it in this too. So there you go. After Seventh Vial, what do we got? Track 5 is
Your Face Deserves a Crowbar. Which this one was the older song, of course, but it's like an updated version, sort of, because it's remarkably slower. I don't know why. Do you remember why we decided to record it slower?
I just think that's how we were feeling it when it happened, because we weren't recording to a click back then. Like,
No.
Yeah.
Again, we didn't know anything about production.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, hit record, and we just went for it.
And then we had Dave on it.
That's what I was going to bring
As
up.
Hope
Yeah.
Dies.
So Dave Richardson, he sang for a band called As Hope Dies, formerly In Reply, but As Hope Dies. No. And he also sang for a band called Force of Change later on, and
Bunch of other bands.
Guns with Guns.
Nuns with Guns, the greatest band that never was.
Yeah, oh my God, the greatest.
The greatest band that never was this band called Nuns with Guns, who had Dave singing, and Rolly, who has recorded 1 million of our albums and EPs, and it's his birthday today, by the way.
Happy birthday, Rolly!
It's January 21st today, and it's his birthday. But he said, "Oh shucks," because I posted something about it. But he played guitar in this band, and I'm telling you guys, and we all know, Nuns with Guns. All they put out was like a demo, and it was called Demo. I don't even think it had a name.
Yeah,
and it was like 4 tracks of like. I still listen to it to this day, and I'm like, oh my God, like why didn't this band like destroy everything? It's just one of those things.
And then they had that one unreleased song.
Yes.
That song was amazing. That he later recorded with his other band.
I learned it because I actually filled in on bass.
Yeah.
Once for Nuns with Guns, and he really asked me like, "Are you serious?" Like I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Oh my God, I better do a good job because this band rules." And like we looked up to Rolly, even though Rolly's like younger than us. We looked up to him because he was so talented and so creative and good at his instrument. And
we were listening to that demo around this time.
Yeah, and really good, great, amazing guitar player, great drummer too, amazing drummer. So it was just like, oh yeah, I'll fill in. And then we played Chain Reaction. I don't even know who we played with. It was like a big show. I don't remember who we opened for, but I played bass, and we played that one song that was like just a demo. It didn't even have vocals on it. And yeah, oh my God. So Nuns with Guns. If you ever find that demo somewhere on YouTube, look it up because that band is amazing.
There's only like 2 songs on YouTube, but
Oh,
my
it's only
God.
2?
Yeah.
I feel like Gabe Ochoa, I bet
He's been
was
adding a
posting
lot of
there.
stuff.
Because he
I've
posts,
noticed.
he's the homie from back in the day, and he loves to post a lot of like old bands demos from the area, from local Southern California bands that just put out demos. And remember this band? And he posts them, and it's great because it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I totally forgot about this band.
Like, no joke, like 2 weeks ago, I listened to the Fallen Angel demos on his YouTube channel.
Rolly was in
And I was like, and
Rolly
even
was-
those were like, damn, that's Rolly. Like, listen to that. It's so sick.
I remember he would be playing on stage. I don't know if he was serious. I don't think he was, but he would be two-stepping on the
Yeah,
stage.
he did the little two-step.
while
He
playing
was
guitar.
he was
And
the
that's
first
it.
guitar player I ever seen do an arpeggio in person.
Like
And I
a
was
sweet
like,
picking.
yeah, and I was like, oh my God, like, look at that guy.
Yeah,
Like,
there you go.
that's
Fucking
sick.
Rolly, man, Rolly fingers. Those were
funny.
Skateland days, man, and we're not even gonna get into that because you all know about Skateland days. Some
that's a
good
different
times
time.
at Skateland, great time. But Crowbar was awesome. Dave sang on it. We knew him. He was more of a mutual friend. Paul was friends with him because they grew up in La
Mhm.
Habra, so they're La Habra heads. And
Right.
he was like, "Yeah, I'll be on the track." And
He had come over to the studio with Paul. They were hanging out.
And
Yeah, just to hang out.
Yeah, just to
Yeah.
hang out. But what it was really like, do you want to be on this song? Might as well do it. You're here. That's what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And I purposely was like, you have to sing on it though. You have to sing the chorus because
Oh yeah,
he has such a good singing voice, and he
does.
only sang like in Reply before they were As Hope Dies. He only sang in that group, like, and I think they were like in a punk rock band before that. But he has such a good singing voice, and no one ever heard it. So I was like, "Can you sing on it?" And he's like, "Sure." Like, yeah, no problem. Like, yeah. And he has like such a good voice. So the original mix of that album and that song, you could barely hear him singing because we're both singing on it. And
Right.
so we did like a remix and remaster of it that Rolly did years ago.
Yeah, that's the one that's on Spotify.
Yeah, the one that's
Yeah.
on Spotify is the remix remastered one. On that one, we just took out my vocal completely on the chorus and said, forget it. Dave has a way better voice than I do. Let's just have his voice on there, and you totally tell it's him. It's like he has a very distinct voice. So it's him on there, and then instead of like yelling over each other too, we're like doing like a call and response kind of thing. I'll say a line and he'll say a line. So on the remix remaster version, the one you hear that's online, that's what you hear, and way better that way, I think.
Totally.
Rolly
you don't hear it on
cleaned
this.
it up.
Yeah, you don't hear it
Yeah.
on that the hard copy right there. We were supposed to re-release. So the first label we ever signed to, Dwell Records, where we put out Envy of Innocence. One of the things that they were supposed to do on their end of it was, put out Envy of Innocence, and then they were gonna bonus was to reprint Architecture of Discord, like only like 500 copies, but like the remix remastered version of it.
Yeah.
Never happened. Wasn't their fault. I think that was more of just like a money kind of thing. We were kind of like a pet project for Dwell Records because they had been like defunct for a while. I think they were like they branched off of a country label or something, and but they were putting out metal, and it had been defunct for a while, and it was
They did a lot of tribute albums, remember?
yeah. But they did a lot of
Oh,
tribute
yeah.
albums, but they also like re-released like
Behemoth, wasn't it?
Behemoth album.
Well,
And
no, they released their first Behemoth album.
they
That's what
actually
it was.
released.
Yeah. Yeah, they released like the first Soylent Green album.
Oh yeah.
There was a couple of bands that they were like the first releases.
And our boy signed us from Penny Lane.
James.
James, duh. Come on,
Mhm.
I know James. James, he worked at the local record store in Uptown, and he kind of said he kind of revived Dwell Records. Yeah, they put out Soylent Green, they put out Behemoth, they did tribute records, and then he put out a couple of like new releases, including us.
Yeah.
But
Stormcrow.
was the other one. That was the other one I was thinking.
That's the other one. It was something Crow, I remember.
Hey, Pale Hornet.
But one of the things on our contract was they were going to re-release Architecture and do like 500 copies of the remix remastered. Never happened, sadly. But we did add a track to it for like the re-release, and it was an older track that we had on one of our older EPs, and the song is called "Welcome to Your Letdown." And so that track, bonus track, is online as well. It's like at the very end of the album.
Yeah.
So that was a
Right.
re-recorded version of a really old song, and Rolly did it again because Rolly
That's
Yeah, it
was
sounds
into
so
it.
much
separate
better.
from the original session.
Yeah, so we did that in the newer session, so that was cool. But Crowbar is still a song that we played sometimes today, like pretty often, and it's a song that everyone remembers and likes and it really is into. For whatever reason, it's just one of those
But yeah,
songs.
that was a song that was a turning point for us.
Yeah.
Because we
Because-
finally had, you guys had the 2 guitars.
Yeah, because we had recorded originally just with me when we were a 3-piece, and then
Yeah.
you came in and we recorded with the harmonies and stuff.
I didn't even know you guys had recorded that originally as a 3-piece.
Yeah, it was on Writings on the Wall. No, Intended Hurt or Wound. Where was it on?
No, it was.
I think it was with me. Like, yeah.
No, but there was
was with Matt.
there's a version of it that only has one guitar. I think maybe it was a
Really?
demo.
I remember when you first
Might be.
showed me the song.
Uh-huh.
You just had me going dun dun, and then I was like, well, why don't I do a harmony?
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good.
I
Thank
didn't know you had recorded it. Maybe.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
I,
was like,
we
well,
might
let me-
we might have a recording of it.
I remember doing it with one because the part that stands out to me is the part that stops when it goes that ascending
Maybe we
run.
recorded it like that, and then we like.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. I think I just recorded it with one guitar, which is like, why? There's 2 of us. And then in Architecture, we do the harmony because I'm stupid and I didn't think of doing that, and it sounds way cooler. But yeah, so that's still a song that we like to play and people love to hear, and the lyrics are ridiculous, but whatever, people love it, so we like to play it. People, it's nostalgia.
Yeah. It was a different time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a different time. It was a different time.
That's when our guitars
2004,
behind our heads.
2005.
Yeah. But it was a good one. That was fun. And then and I still love that solo that I wrote on that one. I'm not gonna lie, that's still one of my favorites because
Good
it's
one.
like
It's a good one.
really, it's just like really fast and like just runs and.
I remember there was a video of us playing at the Allen, and
Yeah.
Alex was recording it, and
Oh.
we were watching that part with the solo, and we were laughing because it just looks like so seamless, and me and Alex were just like cracking up because
Because it's just like all fast.
look at that run, and he's like nothing.
Those are easy runs. Trust me, I can't do anything cool, but it looks cooler than it looks a lot harder than it actually is. But that's a fun one, man. That was a good one. Your face deserves a
Totes.
crowbar. What was track
Totes.
6? What's after that?
Track 6 is called "The Nothing," and that's the
Ooh.
instrumental.
So that was an instrumental named after. Do you know that?
Never ending story.
Never ending story. The nothing, right? The thing that's coming to engulf everything. The nothing, right?
Yeah.
The Nothing.
We had a guest appearance on that song too.
Yep.
Daniela, who played keys in The Funeral Pyre, are really good friends in The Funeral Pyre, formerly known as Envolent. Yeah, because I saw that flyer that you posted it, right, Lon?
Yeah.
It was us, Envolent. What was it? Who else was it?
I don't even think we were on it.
Oh, it wasn't us?
I don't think we were on that.
Was it the
Yeah.
Blackheart Eulogy one?
It was Blackheart. It
Yeah,
was
you guys
Envolent.
we didn't play that show. I remember that.
Yeah.
Blackheart's CD release show. Blackheart, Envolent.
Yeah, it was
Was Fallen Angel on that one?
Beauty Till Death.
Beauty Till. Oh my God.
Wasn't it like
Yeah,
Death by Pig? Was one of them?
Graf Orlock.
Raph.
Oh,
Raph
Orlock.
It's still jam.
Yeah, there
Oh, by the
was.
way,
Forgot who else was on that flyer.
And that was a Blackheart CD release show. Was it for the Damned
Yeah.
by the Grace CD?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So funny. Good thing we're
That
bringing
was
them
around the
up.
same time.
Blackheart Eulogy recorded an album called Damned by the Grace, or as an EP. They recorded it before we did at that studio, same studio where we recorded Architecture. That's kind of why
Yeah.
we decided to do that, right? We're like, oh, well, that worked out for them, so
Well,
let's.
They went
And then
there and
after-
Funeral Pyre.
And
Yeah,
Funeral
and then
Pyre when the same
After us,
always
Winds of Plague recorded there too.
that always
Yeah.
happens. That we're because it's always like the friends going like, "Where did you record? Here, cool," and then we recommend, and then we just go right,
Mhm.
and everyone records there. But I was actually on that EP, the Dan by the Grace. I do some screaming on there. a little bit on one song, and then I did a guitar solo on a song.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. I forgot about that.
A quick one.
Yeah, a little quick one. It's a
Quick one.
You're a quick one. So yeah, the nothing. So Daniela played keys on it.
I butchered that song. I can't even listen to that song. Like I destroyed that song.
'Cause
Like
it's
you
all
came
on-
to me
on
and you had
classical.
this.
It's all on classical.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds stupid first of all because we used our like whatever my classical, yours, whatever, but we had to detune it a lot because we were tuned in drop C at that point, so we didn't have strings that really like hold up on that tuning. So everything you just hear everything like the strings slapping a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of slapping, and it's like ugh.
Ugh.
The keys kind of saved it a little bit, but it is hard to listen to.
And it took me forever to record because he kept catching me breathing. I had to like hold my breath that whole song. So it's like I'm deep sea diving playing the guitar.
That's hilarious.
It's just like, oh my gosh.